Okay, the first method I'm going to show you is with a Ridgeline. And this is a lean-to setup, type of setup. So what we'll do is we'll take some good climbing rope, like this, the 3/8" climbing rope, and we're going to string a line between two trees. And I'm going to say this stretch here is probably about maybe 30 feet, somewhere in there. So we're going to run this line between the two trees, and I'll show you a couple of knots we're going to use. Do that. And I put this about head high. We're going to use a quick release half hitch on here. And I have a segment on knots, so you can check that out, and I'll show you exactly how I'm just going to use them by name now. Let me show you the trucker's hitch here. Particular tree's got some weapons sticking out here. Weaponage. Okay, so this one is called a trucker's hitch, and basically what you want to do is wrap your hand like this. You're going to take, and we're going to wrap a loop like this, if you can see that. And my hand is facing the tied end, okay? We'll call that the closed end. This is the open end. Excuse me. This is the open end, and we're going to reach through and pull a loop. In other words, I went back like this, okay? I got a wrap like that, and I'm going to reach through, and I'm going to pull a loop, just like this, okay? And basically what that is it's going to act as sort of a pulley. It's going to allow me to tension this rope a lot. Now this is called a trucker's hitch or a power cinch. And when I do that, I can make this loop as bigger or smaller as I want, or as big as small as I want. So this will allow me to kind of really bear down on this and drop some tension. Okay, come back around. I'm going to tie this this hitch here, or this rope, with another quick release half hitch. Just like this, and basically it goes all the way around and through the hole and draw it up. And that's not going anywhere. Okay, so now we've established our Ridgeline. All right. I'm going to grab our tarp. Now tell me something about tarps. There are a lot of different geometrically shaped tarps out there, but the best tarps are the rectangular and the square tarps. Offers you a lot of options. Some of the tarps that are triangular shaped, and there's other shapes like that really limits you as to the setup, the ways you can set them up. This is a rectangular tarp. I think this one is a 12 by 15. It's 12 by 12 and a half. So depending on which way you want to set it up, I would probably go the longest length down this way. I'm going to take one of my corners and I'm going to go spread this out. See where I want to end up on my rope here. Okay, I can go about right here, I think. Should be about right in the center. I'm going to take my strings, my paracord, and I'm going to start wrapping this, okay? So I'm going to wrap this around my rope. Wrap it again about 3 times, and then I'm going to tie it off in a bow, just like I was tying my shoes. Okay. Now what I did this for was I'm just going to establish some tension on this rope. Okay, some friction. So that's not going to go anywhere. Over here. I'll do the same thing on the opposite end. Okay. this tight. I'm going to wrap it about 3 times. Again, I'm just going to tie this like I was tying my shoes. Okay. Now this kind of setup is great for just having a basic setup for, you know, probably 4 people. I would put under here. Just a place to hang out in inclement weather. Okay, we're going to put some stakes in the ground. I'm going to start in the center here. And also establish the basic geometry of this tarp, or this tarp. You can see it's a little windy, and that's okay. But I just showed you that one person can set this up in the wind. Just tying that like I tie my shoes. Overhand bow knot. Quick release bow knot. Then we can stake in the rest of these. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what we would end up doing. So now we come to the front of the tarp, and we can do one of 2 things. We can find a tree. We can string on the outside. This thing's got a loop. We can pull this up, and this way it's going to shed water. Or we can put a pole here. So there's 2 types of poles. There are the shock corded type of poles, such as this. And the shock cord runs through them, and you put them together like so. And of course they're adjustable. There's a little snap in there that right into place, and you can adjust this up or down. Now, the other type of pole is a section pole, and this works much better than a pole like that for doing this, for this purpose right here. Because I may not need all that pole. What do I do with the extra? It doesn't work very well. So, I have a pole like this I may use. This is a little big, so section in here. So I'm going to use, looks like maybe 2 sections here. I can do it. I don't think we're going to need a 3rd. So I'll use this. Now I'm going to use the cap from this, and you can use a pole tip or a chair tip, furniture tip, cork, whatever you have available. Now this tarp right here was made by a company called Cook Custom Sewing, and they have a design here that I believe it was Cliff Jacobson that came up with this. It looks like kind of like a butterfly. It's got a drawstring on it, and basically here's how it works. The pole sits inside this butterfly, and the cord is drawn up like so. And that stays in there if there's, you know, the wind comes and tries to fluff it up and things maybe loosen up. We can get that real tight. Okay. So now we've got that. We're going to prop that up like so. In fact, I may want that to come out a little bit further, so I'm going to put the other extension on here. That might be a little bit much, but I think it's a little better angle. So now we've got where water is going to come and shed off this tarp. We don't have to worry about anything sagging or anything like that. Now, if we do encounter storms, high winds, and I'm talking winds of in excess of 40 miles an hour, 30, 40 miles an hour, that's a pretty good, 40 miles an hour is getting up there. These have withstood winds of 50 mile an hour before. But what we're going to do is we're going to tie some of these ends down and make this a little more stable in wind. We can do that one of two ways. First way, we can find a tree. In this case, we've got a tree right over here. I'm going to string up some cord for a tree. We will lay one of those out. Draw that in the center. And this, by the way, is an alternative to a knot. You can use a couple different knots. And we're going to go to this field here. This would be a quick release sheet bend. And the sheet bend is for tying two different lines together. And we can use a trucker's hitch here. Oop. And here's the trucker's hitch. Again, draw that up. Half hitch, quick release half hitch. So now we've got a line established here. We could probably draw that up a little bit further. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, now we've got a point between our ridge line and our center tie, our center guy, and now we've really tightened up even the front of this a little bit more. And we can kind of do that again on the bottom, or toward the bottom, right in here if we think we need another one, if we think we need something down here. This may be a little loose, so you say, well, I could have staked that over here. I put that one toward the tree. Whatever tightens things up. This could be a little tighter here. Maybe we want to go off this one instead. And we could certainly do that. Tighten this up. But this is how you rig for a storm. We could also, one other thing, we can also take some line and we can tie the front down. If we wanted to do that, we would just take this line, do this a little differently, put these together, it's even, and we will go through the top like this. Bring it through, and we can now take this and we can put two stakes out. And we can put these maybe just a foot apart. We can get away with that. Okay, so now we've got got lines in the front that'll keep this thing from flopping up. So that just stabilized it even more. We've got a very sturdy lean-to design here, very stable design or setup that will keep this very stable in high winds.